You're tuned in to the only all-sports talk network in the Middle East, IsraelSportsRadio.com.
Midreshet Devora, a Dati Leumi post-high school program which educates minds and broadens horizons. Located in Baca, the lovely Jerusalem neighborhood provides an excellent background and setting for a tremendous education. Our students learn, love, and feel the land of Israel and get tools which will last them a lifetime. Generous scholarships are available. Please contact us at midreshetdevora.org. Call us from Israel at 052-534-6260 or from North America at 718-593-4162. Midreshet Devora, we're the program you've been waiting for.
From the AACI studios in downtown Tapio, Jerusalem, it's Louis Live! Now here's your host, me, Ari Louis. Good evening. It is a wonderful Tuesday night here in our nation's capital, the center of the universe. Hope everyone's having a good night or a good day if you're listening in the old country. We have a fun show tonight here on Louis Live. We got some great guests. Yonah Bashan at about 10:15. It was his birthday yesterday, but he got a little tipsy, so he forgot he was supposed to be on yesterday, and I will make fun of him about that. Better believe it. Then at 10:30 from KFNX 1100 in the great city of Phoenix, Arizona, Andy Dorff from Dorff on Sports. He's going to break down some of the NFL signings and trades, and yes, he will do some bragging as well because he called Kevin Cobb to Arizona a long time before it happened. So congratulations to Dorff on his wonderful pick. And at 11 p.m., we're going to have Ari Bluestein, our Philadelphia insider, discuss some of the moves the Eagles have made. The Eagles have been very, very involved with what's been going on in the free agent market. And also, we'll have to talk about the signing of the holdout, I should say, of Deshaun Jackson. They have to certainly get him in camp as soon as possible. And it's, again, that's a necessity. I don't think there's any two ways about it. For the next 10 minutes, you want to get in, 02563-1492 in the Holy Land, and in the Old Country, 301-850-2484. So we have some great stuff here to talk about, obviously. Let's see here. Just want to make sure we're doing okay. Hopefully we are on. Sometimes we've been having some issues with our feed, but I believe we are okay. Okay, I'm asking Borat. How is it now? Okay, hopefully it is good. This is what we're hearing at this point. Okay, I apologize, but let's move on to story I wanted to actually get yesterday. Now, this is a very interesting story. You know I'm a big fan of boxing, and I want to talk about Kelly Pavlik. Now, Pavlik really has not been the same ever since he lost to Bernard Hopkins a few years ago. The fight was not for a title fight. Pavlik generally fights at 160. He fought Bernard about 175, but just simply has not been the same. Since then, his career has been an absolute train wreck, and he's done something very, very weird coming up for this fight. Now, he's supposed to fight Daryl Cunningham for the IBF, I'm sorry, I got this wrong here. Kelly Pavlik has pulled out Saturday night's fight against Daryl Cunningham over the money he was offered to face IBF super middleweight title holder Lucian Butte in his next fight, Top Rank, Pavlik's promoter, has announced. So Pavlik has forced Showtime to cancel his entire card, which is supposed to take place in Youngstown, Ohio. Bob R., of course, was at a loss. Whether or not my relationship continues with Kelly Pavlik is not the issue. I'm very, very concerned about this young man. It looks like we have a telephone call. Caller, are you there?
Yeah, what's going on, Ari, man?
How you doing? What's your name, caller? Where are you calling from?
It is Josh calling from Gush Etzion, man.
Hey, how you doing, my friend?
All right, man. I'm having some technical problems hearing your wonderful wisdom. I hope it's just my machine. You might want to ask around. That's first of all.
Okay.
Secondly, I want to talk a little Philly Eagles. You know, I've been up all night last night, thinking about the Eagles, and I just have this feeling that they're going to get so close and lose the big game. That's what I think is going to happen. I think they're going to be just like those Miami Heat, getting to the Super Bowl like the Heat got to the NBA championships, and I think they're going to fall apart to whomever they face in the AFC. That's my prediction. You heard it here first.
Now, if you think they're going to the Super Bowl, then the question is, who's coming out of the AFC to face the Philadelphia Eagles?
Well, obviously, I'm going with the Colts. And I was actually objectively having a conversation with somebody today, and if it's not the Colts, I mean, the Jets are looking really solid. You always have New England, and then you never know. You might have a surprise in the Houston Texans. Obviously, I'm still taking the Colts.
What? The Houston Texans?
Yes.
Where did that come from?
Check them out, man. They're going to get the wild card from the AFC South. You heard that here first off.
You must really be a big Mario Williams fan.
I like the defense. I like the running back. And Andre Johnson is just
he's a great receiver,
a class of his own, in my opinion, as a wide receiver.
The Texans, oh my
Texans
goodness.
as a wild card pick, obviously behind the Colts. But I'd be afraid of them if I were some of these other AFC teams. I think Pittsburgh's going to take a step backwards. I think Baltimore is going to slide a bit. And obviously I take the Colts, but I'd watch out for the Jets. Yeah, they're a little scary, and you never know what, New England is New England, so...
Well, New England's done some great moves. They added Albert Haynesworth. Now, he's been troubled since his days in Washington, but if any guy can get a player to perform to his potential, that's Bill Belichick.
That's Belichick, exactly.
And the same
thing
thing
with Randy Moss. He got him to play to his potential. He can do it again. That's why I will never discount, as much as I hate them, I'll never discount the New England Patriots and their ability to get the job done.
And don't forget, they added Chad Ochocinco. That's another guy that's...
another wacko.
But
a great player.
Absolutely. All the talent in the world, so we'll see if Coach Belichick can get anything. You like that? I said Coach Belichick.
Right, no, I like that, man. That's good stuff. 18 and 1 asterisks all the way. But with Philly there, I was thinking about it last night, and I was thinking, either they're going to pull a LeBron, get to the finals and choke, or they're going to pull a Washington Redskins when they spent all that money. Dan Snyder spent all that money, and they didn't do anything. So on one hand, I thought that. Then I thought, you know what? They're going to be just like LeBron. They're going to make some noise. They'll get to a Super Bowl with Michael Vick. It'll kind of be that, dark side versus the force, and the force being obviously Indianapolis and Peyton Manning, who left money on the table.
Yes, he did.
So the Colts can sign some other players, and I think that the football gods will be so happy with what Peyton did, and Indianapolis will be the first team ever, number one, to play a Super Bowl in their home city, number two, win a Super Bowl in their home city.
Still dreaming about that, aren't you?
What's that? I'm pretty confident. Yeah, I think the football gods. Once you have the football gods on your side, there's nothing.
Isn't that a vote of Zora, though? Isn't that a vote of Zora, Josh, to believe in football gods?
What'd you say?
Isn't that a vote of Zora to do that?
No, I don't think so, because God does care about what happens on the field.
But you said football.
When we had that rabbi on, what's his name? The Fanatic. Remember him?
Yeah.
He said God cares about football, man. That was his deal.
Yeah, but you said football gods in the plural, the multiple.
So I'm going to say God and his helpers who care and have an interest in the betting that goes on in the NFL, who also fill out their fantasy, have a little more influence than the rest of us do. That's why, but I think the Colts, just based on the fact that they were, Peyton was so unselfish and motivated to win another title. He's got to do it in his home city of Indianapolis, Lucas Oil Stadium.
There was a team
2012.
Now you're right. There's never been a team to play in its home city when its home city hosts the Super Bowl. But there was a team that was close for 10 points. Do you know that team?
A team that was close in their home city. What can you tell me approximately? I mean, you're talking about a 46-year. How many Super Bowls have there been so far?
Last one was 45. So right, it's been a while.
It's like a 45-year history. A team that got close.
This was in California.
Well, that's
how about
in that case. I'm going to have to go with either the Raiders. Oh, the Super Bowl was in California. The team was the Raiders, Rams. Who else is there?
It involved Joe Montana.
Chargers.
It involved Joe Montana and Dan Marino.
Where was that game?
That game was at Stanford.
That was at Stanford. Okay, that's close.
This is pretty close. It's the closest I've been.
San Francisco.
Right. So
it's close.
Yeah.
We'll give you that. Listen, you heard it here first, man. Colts, Eagles, and I'm going to even predict the score. You can write it down and talk to me back in February. I think it's going to be Indianapolis 30, Philadelphia 27.
Wow.
February, whatever it is. I can tell you when's the Super Bowl. I can tell you right now because the Indy Star has a countdown on their website.
Oh God!
And give me a few seconds. I'm hooked on the Indy Star there. Big excitement. They already started selling Super Bowl gear downtown. I got to get my parents to get me some of that.
Now, are you going to that game, Josh?
I don't know, man. I did go to one Super Bowl, as you know, in Miami.
Right.
When the Colts beat the Bears. I mean, I'm trying to get my niece, who has a serious boyfriend, I'm trying to get her to get engaged and get herself married over Super Bowl, or at least a week before the Super Bowl, not during the weekend there. At least a week before, 186 days until the Super Bowl. 186, 20 hours, 11 minutes, and 18 seconds, 17, 16, 15.
Right,
It's happening, man.
Yeah.
It's all happening.
You think 35-year-old Peyton Manning could lead them to the promised land again?
Yeah, 35 is a good age, man. Me and Peyton, we're the same age. It's a good age.
Yeah.
And it's going to happen.
By the way,
happen, my man.
hometown discount. He signed for 5 years, $90 million, 63 in the first 3 years.
Big discount, man.
What was he?
We just picked up some players, and we just picked up a linebacker, Ernie Sims.
Right.
Ever heard of him?
No, but hold on one second. I want to go back to
First rounder from Detroit.
How was 5 years, $90 million a hometown discount?
It is a discount when he literally, his presence built the entire stadium. He got us a Super Bowl. So how much does the city make on average in a Super Bowl, Ari?
About $300 million.
$300 million. All right, so you're paying him 90. So you do the math. Subtract that from that. There you go. That's your bonus right there.
I will say,
first of all, plus the stadium and all the revenues coming out of that for the next 100 years.
Well, I will say this. I'm going to say this, that of all the teams, and this is somewhat of an insult to your team, but of all the teams,
okay.
Peyton is the most valuable player of all the. I don't care if he doesn't win the MVP. He's won 4 of them and doesn't win it every year. He's the most valuable. If you take away Peyton from the Colts, they're nothing. They win 1 or 2 games this season. Absolutely not. When Tom Brady was gone from the Patriots, you stuck in Matt Castle's same system that Tom Terrific used, and they still won 11 games.
You got to remember that, but Matt Castle was not really. He was a backup in New England, but obviously when he went to KC, he proved that he wasn't just a backup. We don't have anybody. You're right. We don't have anybody.
Was it Hunter Smith?
If he's gone. I don't think 2 games. I'd still think we would win 6 games, in my opinion. But 6 is not enough to get you to the big dance, being the playoffs. So it doesn't even matter whether you win 1 or 6. You know, you're talking about where you're going to finish in the or where you're going to draft next year. So if you don't make the big dance, that doesn't mean anything. And you're right. Without Peyton, there's no way we're anywhere near a playoff team. But you know, he's got to get healthy, heal up. You know, get busy, I don't know, moving his neck around as he deposits his checks in the bank or something, do some stretches, whatever it takes. Get back on the field, lead us to another championship. And I never thought I'd see the day we win 1 championship. And now I'm saying I never thought I'd see the day when we win 2. And I'm confident we're going to do it. And I'm curious to what your other fans, Ari Louis, have to say about that.
Well,
or your experts coming on this hour.
Well, how about let me ask you this. You were at Super Bowl 41 when the Colts were victorious in Miami.
Yes.
Did you go to Super Bowl 44 or not?
No, I had some other family members who did. But, you know, flying in from Israel was a once-in-a-lifetime thing. That's why I am begging my niece to seal the deal, get it done, get herself engaged, so that I definitely have a reason, other than the Super Bowl, to be in the States that weekend. You know, might as well stay at my parents' house, go to the game. If I'm already in the area, you know, drive down from Chicago.
You would have your own niece marry someone just so you can have an excuse to fly in the game. What if it's not meant to be, man?
At least I got to go to the Super Bowl game, right? Oh, God. Priorities, Ari.
Let me try this. Let me throw this question at you. What would happen if you would fly in for this game and then they lose?
See, I had that fear as I traveled the 6,000 miles to Miami 4 years ago. I was very afraid. On the other hand, Chicago Bears had Rex Grossman as quarterback. So I was trying to psych myself out, I guess, saying, "Oh, they're not going to win this and that." And I usually do that when I think, you know, the week before against New England, the entire night I was up all night. I was saying they're going to lose, they're going to choke, they're going to da-da-da. And then they won. And then there I was saying the same thing. Oh my God, they're going to lose. Da-da. And then once I got there, once they built the lead, you know, Rex Grossman is Rex Grossman. By the way, how do the Redskins think that? Do they have another quarterback other than Rex? Who are they going to start in there?
God, I don't know.
Who else is there? And, well, I mean, I don't know why I keep picking on DC, but I just think they're going to have a terrible, terrible time this year.
We're getting some chats in. If you need help going to the game, we know someone who's a professional Super Bowl sneaker in. He's world famous, and we'll be happy to help you out.
Yes, that guy is a legend, man.
Absolutely.
I heard that report. I was listening that day.
And he went to
I don't think it's that hard in India. I bet you could find a way.
He went to the game that
he was at the Saints.
Yeah, the game where your team lost.
Right,
so,
right. I remember listening to that guy. That guy's a legend.
Absolutely.
He's a criminal, in my opinion.
Hey, we're not good. You know,
he's a criminal. He's a good Jewish boy. You know, the question you got to ask yourself is: would they mind? Would the Super Bowl people, the NFL, mind if you were sneaking into their stadium? And if the answer is yes, then you are a criminal. Again, much respect, but you're still a criminal.
Let's see, he's chatting here. He says he's not a criminal.
Okay, listen, if the NFL, if he does not think they care, meaning if they know about him, they're willing to let him into all these games just to prove that he can. I'm not saying they're doing that. I'm saying if they don't mind that he's doing it, yet he's one person out of 80,000, if they don't mind this one character does it, then he's not a criminal. But according to halacha, and that I don't know much about, I'll be honest, but that's one thing I do know. If they mind, then he is a criminal. Much respect still.
Well,
it's pretty crazy and pretty cool at the same time. But he's still a criminal.
At this point, that gentleman's a celebrity. I think the Super Bowl or any sporting event would be happy to have the gentleman in attendance.
It could be. It could be. That's what I'm saying.
He adds flair to the game.
One of these days when he does get caught and his story gets out there to like the mainstream. I know he's been written up in a few places. I'm talking about like, New York Times.
Hey! Israel Sports Radio ain't mainstream, man.
No, you guys are above that, man. You don't want to be mainstream. Trust me, mainstream is evil.
Right? Okay.
You want to be above that, Ari.
I appreciate that.
If this guy does get into, let's say, the Times or one of these, mainstream media sections for doing what he does, okay, that's a different story.
That's true, but I don't know. I think my opinion is like this: if a guy is able to get through $6 million of security, I don't think they are going to have any right to complain or take him to court. It just would be embarrassing. So he was good enough to beat this. Just tip your cap. You lost. You tried $6 million of security. It wasn't good enough. He was able to beat you. Don't complain.
So the guy hacks into the Pentagon computer, Ari.
Right.
And gets away with it. You're saying that's okay because he was smart enough to do it? What's going on here, Ari?
Yeah, exactly. The Pentagon should do it. Hey, look, the Pentagon should say, hey, we were not good enough. We should just admit we were wrong, lost, and step it up next time.
So they give this guy a trophy? Like, congratulations, you broke into the Pentagon, potentially endangered the world.
He's helping people because he's making the security better.
Is he? Listen, I know there are people who are paid, to do that kind of stuff, to sneak into places, and they're actually paid. And they do take a risk because you never know who you're going to meet on the other side of that wall, fence, whatever it is. There could be an armed who knows what. It takes you out. So you are risking your life.
I think at this point that if I was a security company, and I told this gentleman on the air, I might as well hire him. He's got all the tricks. He knows every single angle that you don't know about. Right. Just turn him over, as you say, from the sinful side to the good side. You could do that too.
Exactly. I've seen movies like that. I can't think of one now. There are movies like that. Oh, wait, what was the one with the drugs, this and that? No, it was a computer thing. The guy was like a computer hacker, and then finally, he went legit, and they turned him over to the, I think it was FBI or whatnot.
Was that a Bruce Willis movie?
I don't know. I don't remember. Maybe one of your listeners knows. What's that movie, if you're listening out there? There was a movie of this guy. He was like a computer hacker expert, I believe, doing a bunch of bad stuff, and finally they caught him, and he went legit, and he was like a genius, like for the feds or the CIA or something like that. Maybe one of your people know.
See
if you get some chats in on that one.
All right. Well, we appreciate that.
Somebody out there watches TV.
Well,
I don't own a TV, so.
By the way, Josh, our next guest, you should definitely hang on and listen to the show because our next guest is Yonah Mashan. It was his birthday yesterday.
Oh, I know, man. I heard some crazy stories. I can't get into that. Confidential information that I received off the waiver wire gossip column today, which I heard about the party. Can't get into that, or I will be executed.
Well, I will get into that.
Something's wrong with the radio, man. I don't know. Maybe it's my computer, but I'm going to try again to listen to you live. I'm going to hang up now.
I asked some people, and they said the connection would come in pretty good, so just keep trying.
All right, I'm going to try again. I'm not giving up.
And if not, write to me on chat, and I'll try to do something.
I'll chat in, all right?
Okay, cool, man.
So, go Colts. I'll see you Eagle fans in the Super Bowl.
All right, thanks, Josh. Appreciate it, man.
All right, man. All the best. Have a good night.
All right.
Later. Bye-bye.
Later, dude. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, Yonah Mashan, because after all, yesterday was his birthday.
Offering the best of Israel at the best price, Shalom Israel Tours can help you make your next trip to Israel the adventure of a lifetime. Shalom Israel Tours will customize the trip to Israel for your family or group. Specializing in bar mitzvah packages, outdoor adventure vacations, wine tours, and more, Shalom Israel Tours is sure to inspire. So whether you're looking for a customized trip, a day tour, or a car rental, Shalom Israel Tours is here to help. Email us at inspire@shalomisraeltours.com or click the banner on the Israel Sports Radio homepage, and soon you will find yourself in Israel. That's Shalom Israel Tours, www.shalomisraeltours.com.
Are you ready to get serious about your health and fitness? iFit trainers provide one-on-one personal training and put together the best fitness program to get the right results for you. Find your I in fit. We offer certified personal trainers with elite athletic experience and flexible hours at the convenience of your own home. Classes are offered in English and in Hebrew. We serve Jerusalem and the surrounding areas. For more information and to schedule your first workout session, call Alyssa at 054-759-7280 or email Alyssa, ELISSA, at i-fit.co.il. Visit us at www.i-fit.co.il or click on the iFit banner on the Israel Sports Radio homepage.
Feeling overwhelmed with all you have to do? Let your personal shopper help. Chani is an experienced gift shopper and can help free up your day. Chani can assist you in finding the perfect gift for your upcoming simchas or pick up those light items at the grocery. And don't forget, if you are in the area of the Israel Center on Karen HaYesod, stop by on Monday or Tuesday between 8:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. to check out all the great gifts Chani has to offer. For more information, call 02-654-2155 or email chani@netvision.net.il. Don't forget to check out her great website at www.chanisgifts.com.
Israel Sports Dynamics specializes in football consulting, equipment, uniforms, and more. Great brands such as Nike, Russell Athletics, Shutt Sports Products, and many more. Just one call away. With over 30 years coaching experience with university and professional athletes, Terry Hill, owner of ISD, can advise you for all your sports needs. Call 054-581-3248. That's 054-581-3248 or visit our website at www.isdisrael.com. If that's not easy enough, click on the ISD banner on the Israel Sports Radio website and be part of the game.
I can hear the radio on this.
Yeah, Yoda, that's because you're on the air right now, man. Everybody, the birthday boy from yesterday, we weren't able to get in touch with him yesterday, but it's a belated birthday. That's Yoda Bashad. Yoda, happy belated birthday, buddy.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you showing up, and I guess I'll go live. I'm sorry about this whole 9 days thing. I didn't think about it, but I appreciate all you people that came out and said thank you and came out and said hello and left. A lot of people just came and left, but we had a nice big party, and I appreciate you coming last night too, Ari.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. 9 days you're saying because generally people don't party in 9 days, but they can't.
Exactly.
Right. Okay, yeah.
A lot of people came and said hello and left, but it was a nice party, and I appreciate it. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Now, we're hearing some rumors that there was some crazy stuff that happened last night at the Gove. Do you care to comment on that?
No comment.
Very, very nice. I saw some of it. It didn't look too bad. I don't know. People dancing on top of tables and drinking. That's about it.
Yeah, the bar almost came. Some people almost ripped the bar off from its hinges. But besides that, it was actually, a bunch of older people having a good time. And it was nice. It's in a controlled environment, nothing too crazy. I drank more than I ever drink, which is about one shot, and it was great. I was gone for the night. It was awesome, and I'm sorry about last night.
No, it's right. Yeah, so, things happen prior. I understand. Generally, and you should let, I found this interesting, the audience should know that generally you do not drink, correct?
I do not drink at all. Don't go interact with alcohol.
But you're a co-owner of a bar.
That's why I am a owner of the bar, because I don't have to worry about eating or drinking the government. It's all in the pocket. You
don't drink your merchandise. It's very smart. I like that.
Yeah.
Now, you talk about the 9 days. Is the Gove having a special 9 days menu?
We don't have dairy, but we have vegetarian menu, on our menu all year long. And again, I guess the strict religious men and women will not be showing up to a bar during the 9 days.
Right, I hear that. But I remember last year, me and Andy came over there. You guys had fish and chips and stuff.
Yeah, we have. We got fish and chips. We have salad. We have nachos. We have some dishes that you could have, definitely, if you don't mind hearing a little bit of music and just want to have some non-meat dishes.
Right. Yeah, some people, they will listen to music as long as it's not live. Anyways, but we got to ask you this, because these questions are important, but there's a question out there the fans want to know. Are you coming out of retirement this year to play for the Lions? Right now I'm coaching the Lions.
I won't. I'm not going to lie about this. I definitely feel physically fit to play the game.
What
even
a shock!
At my old age of 39.
Right.
The proof is in the pudding.
Oh God!
But we'll see. Right now I'm the coach. I think I can give more as a coach, but I may do it. We'll see.
You could be player coach.
All out there too. Also, we'll see.
You could be player coach, right?
I don't think anyone can be a very good player coach. There was their last, I think, a decent player coach that I've seen was I forgot his name. I lost his name now from the Pioneers. Or whatever. I can't remember his name. He played a little bit, but he mainly coached. It's almost impossible to do that. So I think you got to put put yourself fully into it. But I have the luxury of having a great coach that works with me. His name is Coach Viggy. And if I did play a little bit here and there, but I'd have to win my spot anyways, Ari. I couldn't just come up and play. If I'm not good enough, I ain't playing.
That's true. Obviously, right. You have to earn it on the field.
But guess what? I'll be good enough.
I'm shocked by your humility. But your team this year already a bit of a struggle in the off season. The star quarterback Itai Ashkenazi is going. So Idan Yaron, you've had some players retire, especially Sidman. I know that's a killer, losing David Sidman. So how do you expect to rebound in the off season? Okay. I had to put one joke in there.
First of all, David Sidman has been in more practices than a lot of other guys.
All right.
So David Sidman is definitely on the team.
And he's still on the team?
To have him on the team. Yeah, he's definitely on the team.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought he was retired. Okay.
No. As far as I know, we've lost a few people. We've also gained the guys. We've also brought in. I mean, they basically showed up to us a group over 20 Israelis, which I say right now, about 6 to 7 of them are going to be factors immediately on the field. Some of them are just kamikaze maniacs coming out of elite army units, and I mean it. Really sick kids. Obviously, our biggest loss are the guys that went. The Tai and Idan and Valman and Yotam, those were big losses. But what their losses obviously is they're not playing with us, and they know that, and they would have loved to play. It's not their fault they're not playing with us. They live far away. Didn't make sense for them to keep coming back and forth. But they got to remember, I played with these guys and I've coached them, so there's not much I don't know about them, and we'll see on the field what happens.
Oh, I love that. The trash talking going early.
Not trash talking; it's a fact. They know it, and I know it. It's a big deal.
So, I guess that's a good point. But don't they therefore know your coaching strategy? Can't that be an advantage to them?
Well, if you ask all the big daddies in the tackle league, I'm a flag coach, so I don't have any strategy. But we'll find out. I guess we'll see what happens.
Do you at this point have someone that can replace Itai as quarterback? You have someone in camp?
We definitely have. We have 2 quarterbacks right now that are playing with us. One is the ex-Pioneer guy, the quarterback Chaim Schiff.
Oh, very good.
Actually played with in flag and won one of my championships in flag was with Chaim Schiff. I think he's a great guy, very coachable guy, which is very important. He has a good arm. He can move, and it's going to be good. And of course, you have Michael Vick as ex Mr. Benjamin Schultz, which we're working with. And once he gets his throwing down better, it's going to be very interesting to what teams are going to do against him, because is he running, is he throwing, like in the good old days with Mr. Vick. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But Idan and Itai are 1-2 package, pump. And it's, the Pioneers got a great deal from Big Blue Lions, and we're hoping they're going to take us all out for dinner or something.
Oh, God. Well, they could have dinner at Hagov. We could do that.
That'd even be better, yes. I'd like that. That's a win-win situation.
So I want to ask you, because last night when I was there at your party, I overheard you pointed to a picture of the, I believe, Giants-Patriots Super Bowl, and you said you were there. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea. That game was in Arizona. You were in Arizona then?
Me, myself, Steve, and Mikey. Actually, Gandhi was there for other reasons. He was there with our co-owner of the bar. We flew in. It's a long story. We won't bore how we got there. It was out of control. Everything was booked. We got there anyways. We had to drive in the end from L.A. to Arizona. The bottom line is we went to the game. We were the funny thing is we were guests of the Giants because of Big Blue Travels. They sell travels. They do all the Giant traveling. So we were there. So we were at their pre-party, VIP party. There was all Taylor was there. LT was there. They were all there. And this great big party. And we were also the guest for the after party, which was supposed to be the Super Bowl party of the Patriots, which ended up being a wake. Literally, they had Alicia Keys at the party, and they thought they were going to win for sure, like everyone else. And they had this whole big thing, and when we got there, it literally looked like a wake. People were just eating. You could hear a pin drop. That's how quiet it was. Mr. Kraft got up and apologize that this was me. They should have thought about this. They shouldn't have started such a big thing before winning the game. But I was at the game, and it was awesome. And I was the only guy yelling, "Go Raiders," I swear to you. This is a fact. There's witnesses there that I kept screaming, "Go Raiders," every time. Every time there was an intermission, I'd scream, "Go Raiders," and I got beer dumped on me. It was a lot of fun. We had a good time.
Let me explain to you how fascinating this is. Because of course I'm from Arizona. That night I was driving a cab right around the stadium. So who would have thought that?
Oh, really?
Yes, indeed.
Wow.
So who would have thought that? And I was right by the stadium that had you guys that I was going to meet about a year and a half later in Israel. How about that? Strange how the world works.
That's unbelievable. That is really cool. That's really weird. It was also weird that, I don't know what the connection is. It just hit me for some reason that I had just last week, because I wanted to bring this up. As we all know, our very close and dear supporter and friend Myra Kraft passed away.
Right.
And me and Steve had the privilege of being able to fly down to be at the Shiva call. And we're all going to miss Mrs. Kraft. She was a philanthropist. She did things people don't even know about. Unbelievable stuff for everyone, for football, women's football, especially for women's football. It's unbelievable. And we're going to miss her, and it was a hard time. But I got to see Andy. I had breakfast with Andy and his wife in Manhattan, and it was a pleasure.
Yeah, I saw that on Facebook. And finally, of course, actually for 10 points, do you know Andy's wife's first name?
Excuse me, I didn't hear you. What did you say?
Do you know Andy's wife's first name for 10 points?
Oh, no. Aviva.
Yes! You got that. Very nice.
I can't remember her name, right?
It was for a while. I think you kept calling her Mrs. Rusty Mike.
Mr. Andy. Miss Andy.
Mrs. Andy, yeah. Which Tricia loved that. Actually, speaking of the Patriots, someone asked me a great question earlier today, so I'll ask this of you. How is it that the owner is a great, generous man like Mr. Kraft, and the coach is the evil Bill Belichick? How does that work?
As evil as Belichick?
And evil Bill, the coach is the evil Bill Belichick, but his boss is like a saintly figure. How does that work?
He's unbelievable, Mr. Kraft.
Right.
I had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Belichick, and he was nice to me. I don't know. He's a nice guy.
I thought you said he kind of like put his head down and kind of gave you a weird handshake. Like he was kind of shy or something, right?
Yeah, he's very shy. He's a very modest man.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure. He was playing mind games already before the season started. He said something. He's not into My Book or Face Space. He did all those games.
Well, I wouldn't worry about him, and I wouldn't double. I wouldn't think twice about what he's doing. The guy seems to know what he's doing, and he never makes mistakes.
Yeah,
big mistakes.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing because he's videotaping stuff.
Well, that's wrong, man. That is wrong. That is wrong. That is totally wrong.
I said he's innocent. It looks like I hope he wasn't upset about what I did or what I said. Okay, we'll try to get him back. I'm gonna take a commercial break and get back out of this. Tiger Computer Services, 050-708-1599. All of Jerusalem is talking about them. They're super experienced, efficient, reliable, and honest. Their lead technician has over 20 years experience and holds a BS in computer science from a top American university. Mickey from Macavia says, I won't let anybody touch my computers except for Tiger. So call Tiger Computer Services, 050-708-1599. Believe me, you'll be happy that you did. Ruben from Baca says, I've had many technicians in the past, and these guys are some... Yona, if you were that upset about me insulting Mr. Belichick, I won't do it anymore.
They look at it. Look how it works. The Patriots have they can pull stuff all the way up from there to here. They shut me down.
It's time for me to stop insulting Bill Belichick and the staff. Okay, nothing happened, but wow, I was sweating. I thought, Jonas.
It was pretty bad. Man. I was just wrong.
I'm nervous when I walk out of the studio tonight. I don't want to see anybody here. All right, Yoda.
I was nervous because they're supporters of the league. You know?
Yeah. Well, I of course, I'm just joking around. And we love Mr. Kraft. Me and Andy got the pleasure of meeting him when he came in March, and he was actually on the station around that time. It was very nice for him to give his time, very generous. He was busy meeting Knesset members, and you know how it is for Mr. Kraft. Everyone is very in need of his time, and he gave us a few minutes, so we appreciate it. Yoda, before we let you go, tell us, again, specials at a go, things that they can do out of the bar this week.
specials that go. First of all, we always have our bottomless Wednesday beer. Drink as much as you can.
Mm-hmm.
We've got midday specials starting from 5 to 9. People don't know. It's about over a month ago. 2 months ago, we have a brand new menu. We have some new stuff on the menu. I know it's the 9 days. We're putting together some. We'll come out with it by hopefully by tomorrow. We should have a special, which I didn't get a chance to tell you of some. There will be a dish this year for the 9 days, so there'll be an extra thing on the list. And on top of that, for Chubav, we're going to be having a big party. Anyone that was last night at the party saw that with a good DJ, you can rock and roll at our place. It's a lot of fun if the right people show up. It's really nice, and it's a clean environment. That's really all that counts.
Yep.
And that's it. And we're looking forward to this year's IFL League. It's going to be big. It should be 10 teams. We're welcoming 2 new teams. I think, again, I'm just going to put this in as the Pioneers and the Rebels are the teams to beat. I know my buddy, Coach John Sharon, will disagree with me, but I think, John, me and you come in underdogs. We're after you. We're at the bottom, but we're going to try and make our ways up this year.
Wow, okay. So big words there. He's picking the Pioneers and Rebels as the favorites at this point.
Pioneers and Rebels. They just picked up half of Big Blue. The Pioneers are the champions. They have a great coaching staff. They just picked up another coach. I don't remember his name, but it's Donnie. He's been playing on the national flag team. Tremendous athlete. Going to be one of the best players, I think, in the league. Eventually, his father is a great coach in the high school league. They just picked him up. I know they picked up a whole bunch of guys. They got a great sponsor. And they're champions, and they came back from a big deficit against us in the semifinals. And you can't take that away from them. No one's going to be able to. And the Pioneers, they got their thing. And then I think it's Pioneers or Rebels and then Tel Aviv. And we're somewhere 5th or 6th place right now based on the talents and the other teams. And we're going to try and do our best.
All right, well, that's all you can do is do your best. And, of course, the Hagov is on 5-year-old Solomon Street near the bottom of Ben Yehuda, correct?
Correct.
All right. Well, Yoda, thanks so much for coming on Louis Live. We'll have to do this more often. A lot of fun.
Thank you. And if Andy's listening now, we miss you guys. And Aviva. Take it easy.
Yes, see, you got to be. Very good. That was great stuff. All right, Yoda, have a good night. All right, that was Yona Mishan, one of the co-owners of Havgov on 5-year-old Solomon Street, a great sports bar there. So check out that place. It's a lot of fun. Me and Andy used to go there all the time and have some fun memories. I was there last night. I looked around. I'm like, wow. Me and Andy used to sit here, and this is where he'd order his chicken. I'd order his water. Actually, the funniest part of the party, and I forgot to mention this to Yoda, was the fact where my hand was really greasy with kind of this chicken grease, and I went and shook Oriel Sturm's hand, and he didn't want to embarrass me, make a comment on it, but he wiped it on his jeans. I saw that. Okay, let's take a commercial break. When we come back, Andy Dorf from Dorf on Sports after this.
Offering the best of Israel at the best price, Shalom Israel Tours can help you make your next trip to Israel the adventure of a lifetime. Shalom Israel Tours will customize the trip to Israel for your family or group. Specializing in bar mitzvah packages, outdoor adventure vacations, wine tours, and more, Shalom Israel Tours is sure to inspire. So whether you're looking for a customized trip, a day tour, or a car rental, Shalom Israel Tours is here to help. Email us at inspire@shalomisraeltours.com or click the banner on the Israel Sports Radio homepage, and soon you will find yourself in Israel. That's Shalom Israel Tours, www.shalomisraeltours.com.
Are you ready to get serious about your health and fitness? iFit trainers provide one-on-one personal training and put together the best fitness program to get the right results for you. Find your I in Fit. We offer certified personal trainers with elite athletic experience and flexible hours at the convenience of your own home. Classes are offered in English and in Hebrew. We serve Jerusalem and the surrounding areas. For more information and to schedule your first workout session, call Alyssa at 054-759-7280 or email Alyssa, ELISSA, at i-fit.co.il. Visit us at www.i-fit.co.il or click on the iFit banner on the Israel Sports Radio homepage.
Feeling overwhelmed with all you have to do? Let your personal shopper help. Chani is an experienced gift shopper and can help free up your day. Connie can assist you in finding the perfect gift for your upcoming simchas or pick up those light items at the grocery. And don't forget, if you are in the area of the Israel Center on Karen HaYesod, stop by on Monday or Tuesday between 8:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. to check out all the great gifts Connie has to offer. For more information, call 02-654-2155 or email connie@netvision.net.il. Don't forget to check out her great website at www.conniesgifts.com.
Israel Sports Dynamics specializes in football consulting, equipment, uniforms, and more. Great brands such as Nike, Russell Athletics, Shutt Sports Products, and many more. Just one call away. With over 30 years coaching experience with university and professional athletes, Terry Hill, owner of ISD, can advise you for all your sports needs. Call 054-581-3248. That's 054-581-3248, or visit our website at www.isdisrael.com. If that's not easy enough, click on the ISD banner on the Israel Sports Radio website and be part of the game.
All right, back on Louis Live, and our next guest hosts his own show on KFNX 1100 in the great city of Phoenix, Arizona, and that would be Dorf on Sports, and our guest, Andy Dorf. Dorf, man, how you doing today?
I'm super, Ari. Another day, as they say, in the sun here in the Valley of the Sun, and always talking sports is a pleasure. So, great day for me.
Well, first thing we got to get to, you called this a long time ago before the quote-unquote experts, Kevin Cobb to Arizona. How did you know that was going to happen?
Just a hunch, when you look at the situation in Philadelphia, you knew the guy wasn't going back there. Obviously, with the emergence of Mike Vick last year, there was just no way that this guy was going to get back into that lineup. However, with that being said, the guy was loved by his peers, his player, the guys he played with, and the coaches all, rave and remark about him and have nothing but good things to say about his work ethic. He's a smart guy, that he's capable of getting the job done. But it wasn't the right situation for him there in Philadelphia anymore with what Mike Vick was able to accomplish last year. And, they needed to do something to obviously make the situation better, not only for Kevin Cobb, but Mike Vick as well, so that he's not looking over his shoulder by any means and thinking that there's a guy that can take his spot. So ultimately, I think, the right thing was done for Kevin Cobb to further himself and potentially better himself in his NFL career, and dealing him to the Cardinals for $64 million. Well, not necessarily dealing, but, obviously the Cardinals give him the $64 million. To me, a little bit maybe too much money for a guy that has only started 7 professional games. And, you can make a comparison and say, Aaron Rodgers got the same type of money and obviously didn't have the starts behind him when he got that contract as well. But the difference there is he was being tutored by, and not necessarily by choice, but Brett Favre was there, and obviously, you're learning and getting reps behind a guy like that. You can only get better. So I think that you can't really compare the two as far as the way that they can come into the league and the way that Aaron Rodgers was able to obviously, come on by storm and win a Super Bowl for the Green Bay Packers. So I think that people have to kind of not get caught speeding and say, well, he's getting the same type of money that Aaron Rodgers did, and Aaron Rodgers was improving. Well, I think it's a different situation, a different guy, and again, the players in Green Bay maybe a little bit better at the receiver, than the Arizona Cardinals, and obviously with the exception of a guy like Larry Fitzgerald. But the depth at the receiver core for the Green Bay Packers much better and a lot more to work with. But again, a deal and a thing that I thought was going to happen. Obviously, it did come through, and the Cardinals seem to think that they put themselves in a good position with Kevin Cobb.
That's a great point you make. That Aaron did learn under Brett Favre. Kevin Cobb really didn't learn under anyone of that caliber. Dorf, got to ask you this. That division last year was putrid. Yeah, the 7-9 Seahawks win that thing. Now Larry Fitzgerald, and he had over 80 catches last year with no one throwing to him. Now he's got not a great quarterback, but a pretty solid quarterback throwing to him. So with that combination alone, isn't that going to be enough to win the West?
that it's still to be determined. Obviously, Tim Hightower, I don't think he's the greatest running back, but obviously goes to Washington the other day, and I think that thins him out a little bit. To be honest with you, I think that the people, again, you bring a guy like this in, and you have a guy like Larry Fitzgerald, but Larry Fitzgerald gets double covered every single week, and that's going to happen continuously until the Cardinals are able to bring in a guy that potentially can take some stress off. And I don't think that that's an early Doucette or anybody like that at this point. And obviously Preston, I don't believe he's with the team anymore. And then you potentially, the newest one I'll give you is that I've been hearing rumors that Braylon Edwards could potentially come to the Arizona Cardinals. I don't know if that's the greatest thing, but a guy that is capable, we know that he can make some plays, and it's another big receiver, which would definitely take some pressure off of guys, like Larry Fitzgerald, because potentially now he won't be able to be double covered as much. So I don't know if just having Kevin Cobb is enough. I think you got to have a team full of guys, and it's 11 guys on offense on the same page and 11 guys on defense on the same page, and you have to have your offensive line intact, and everybody's got to be healthy at the right time. So potentially this could be a great situation. I do think that, I do believe that, but again, I'm not going to be one of those guys that comes right out of the gate and says, "Oh, Kevin Cobb's going to save the franchise." He's going to have to prove something to me, and again, it's not over 1 year, and it could be a great year for the Cardinals, like you said. I mean, the division isn't very good. However, with that being said, you said Seattle, obviously, they were the miracle team last year, 7-9. They did get a victory in the playoffs as well. So, that record maybe, you can say it was awful, but in a big game situation, they were ready to play. So you got to have to give them a little bit of credit in that situation. And again, I think we just got to be a little bit cautious with Kevin Cobb here in Arizona. And I think people are expecting greatness right away, and it takes time for that kind of thing to happen. So I'm more going to take the kind of procedure, Ari, of being like, hey, let's kind of wait and see how things kind of play out. And obviously, again, he's got to have fits on the field and potentially another wide receiver to help out with having, some coverage matchup, stuff like that, where it makes it easier. So I'm going to say let's be a little cautious, and let's wait and see, and let's give it a month or so during the regular season and see how things kind of start out, and then I'll have a better feel as to what I think of Kevin Cobb at that point.
We see the value, and I guess we didn't appreciate the time of a guy like Anquan Boldin to get some of that coverage off of Larry Fitz, because people could say, no, he's the second fiddle. He leaves to Baltimore, and it's not the same.
No, 100% correct. You hit the nail on the head with that one. I mean, you look at, obviously, Anquan Boldin, another guy that's a great wide receiver, or not a great wide receiver, but a very good receiver in the NFL. And yeah, I mean, it was like having a 1A and a 1B. I mean, they were both number one receivers, really, when you look at the picture. But it definitely took some pressure off. And you're right, that was sorely missed. They didn't have another big-time receiver like that, a guy that was willing to go across the middle of the field like Anquan Boldin and sacrifice his body to make plays for your team. And, yeah, I really believe that was a big thing that was missing last year in their offense for sure. And then, obviously, Kurt Warner. I mean, let's face it, Diggs haven't been the same since Kurt Warner hasn't been around. Right. So it's hard to make up for that guy who is obviously an MVP, a Super Bowl guy, and just has so much charisma and poise that these other guys have not shown yet in the pocket. So, there's been a lot of changes for the Cardinals over the past few years, and, quarterback has definitely been one of those, and a couple of big receivers like Anquan Boldin not in that lineup anymore makes a big difference as well. I agree.
Now, some of the other moves that have been going around in the NFL, let's first go to the Patriots. Albert Hainsworth, who couldn't put down his cell phone in practices, he's going to be under the tutelage of Bill Belichick, and Chad Ochocinco joins them as well. We've seen Belichick put it together with Corey Dillon and with Randy Moss. Can he do the same with Chad Ochocinco and Albert Hainsworth?
Absolutely. I love that move, to be honest with you. I love both the moves. I think, giving another target for Tom Brady in Ocho Cinco, who we all know can play. I mean, there's no question about it. When he's motivated, he's a very good football player, and another great weapon for Tom Brady to throw in that lineup with the guys that they have, with the Wes Welkers and those guys in that lineup. So they're loaded, man. And I love the way that he retools, and he's able to do that with guys that you like you mentioned, Randy Moss. I mean, nobody would touch that guy, and obviously he retires, and we'll see if that holds out for the whole year, by the way, too. But and like you said, he's had some guys who are tough individuals to deal with, and that's Belichick I'm talking about. But he seems to get the max out of them. And again, I think Albert Haynesworth, you can bring yourself another defensive guy that can put a pass rush on and stop the run. I mean, why not? Why wouldn't you take that chance? And I think it's a fresh start for him. I think it's a fresh start for Ocho Cinco, and I love the move 100%.
You brought him up. I was going to actually ask you about this. Randy Moss retires after 13 years. He's 34 years old. But I think he has a lot left in the tank, and he loves the spotlight. And, hey, let's face it, wants the NFL money as much as anyone. What are the chances that he comes back even this season?
Oh, I think they're great. I mean, he's in great shape. His agent has been kind of touting him all over the place and saying how great a shape he's in. And I think it really boils down to this. He doesn't want to go to training camp. And, I think once that all settles and obviously, cooler heads prevail, it's sort of like the lockout situation. You got a guy who's somewhat stubborn. He's been doing things for 13 years, and he's put in his time, and we all know that he's another guy that's really capable. So I would not be surprised if you see Randy Moss playing again this year. But if let's just, for instance, if he doesn't play this year, then I really believe it. I don't think he comes back after the season, after sitting out for a year. So, and especially if he is really in as great a shape he's in right now, it makes no sense for him not to be on a football field. So, again, I think he doesn't want to do training camp. I think that he's at the point in his career where he feels he's earned the respect and the right to kind of come into things late, and not in the same sense of a Brett Favre, but in the sense of a guy that is somewhat selfish. And we know this about him. But again, motivated. We all know he's a very good, solid wide receiver in the NFL and can definitely help somebody. So don't be surprised if Randy Moss is back this year as well.
Now, let's get your prediction, because you had the Kevin Cobb right to the T. What are some of the potential teams you think Randy Moss could be a good fit with?
Well, really good fit, in all honesty. I mean, now that they made the move there for Ocho Cinco, I almost thought that he would go back to New England and Belichick and Tom Brady, but obviously that doesn't look like it's going to happen. I would have to say, again, this is another one of those deals where you wait and see who's kind of having either a surprise year, or if one of those teams like the Green Bay Packers or not necessarily Minnesota, but a team that could be in the thick of the things once the season kind of gets going, and if they have a key player, for instance, like with Sidney Rice last year, and now obviously no longer with Minnesota, but a key guy like that goes down, potentially Randy Moss could come in. And I don't know. I can't give you it, off the top of my head with my crystal ball like I did with Kevin Cobb, just because I had a great feeling about that, because I knew he wasn't going to be in Philadelphia, and the Cardinals needed a quarterback, so it made a lot of sense to me. But again, I think it's going to come down to, you're 8 weeks into the season and somebody gets hurt. Randy Moss maybe get a call, and again, it's in my eyes, it's going to be a contender, whether it's like I said, whether it's a Green Bay Packer type team, Chicago Bears, who could always use a wide receiver, and I think Randy Moss would love to be in that division too. Let's face it, a lot of his good years were with Minnesota, so I just think it's going to come down to a team that really needs a guy like him to come in, and it's going to have to do with some sort of an injury, almost in my eyes, where Randy Moss will wind up coming into a pretty good situation at that point.
All right, let's switch gears, go to the Diamond. Our Arizona Diamondbacks, one game behind the Giants. Talk about some of the moves they made. I was a little disappointed because I thought they would have to chase the Braves for the wild card, and the Braves add the Major League leader in steals abundant to the team. But maybe the Diamondbacks can win the West. What is going to be their secret to success down the stretch? And also talk about some of the moves they made near the trade deadline.
Well, I'll tell you what. You look at this Arizona Diamondback team. I mean, let's be honest. Me, anybody, there's no way that we could have told you, hey, the Diamondbacks are going to be in the thick of things, and they're going to be pushing the Giants, and they're going to be beating the Giants in San Francisco, as they did obviously last night, 5-2. Ian Kennedy gets the win and, pulls them that much closer. They're now just a game behind San Francisco. Again, you have to give the Diamondbacks organization, Kirk Gibson, Don Baylor, Alan Trammell, you name it, whoever, give all those guys all the credit in the world, because you know what? They've done a remarkable job of building a system and building a way that these guys really believe in what Kirk Gibson is selling. So I'm very impressed, to be honest with you, with the way that they've battled and continued to fight all year long and keep themselves in a really good position to not only scare the Giants, but to really to come ahead and steal this division from them. So I think it's some good moves. I really do. As far as what they did, they brought in a couple more pitchers, which they needed. They obviously, Jay puts his back, so that makes things a lot better. He's feeling better. Came off the DL, feel like a week and a half ago or so, and last night his stuff looked sharp. I'll be honest. I was watching the game, and the Giants put a couple guys on base in the bottom of the ninth, and there he is, just continuing to be steady and goes out and makes things happen. But I think, okay, you look at the staff a little bit. Let's kind of break it down. Obviously, Hernandez was there in the relief spot, and then, like I said, JJ Puts, the closer, who was kind of not in the thick of things a week and a half or 2 weeks ago. Now he's healthy back again. You got Ziegler in the mix. Micah Owings, who can come in and do some damage a little bit. Patterson, who gives you a little bit more middle relief, and then Jason Marquis. The bottom line is that you have to get solid pitching all throughout, and they had this solid 1-2 with Ian Kennedy and Joe Saunders. Hudson has been a pleasant surprise this year. I don't know if you've watched him, but Hudson's been a pleasant surprise. Coleman, there's been a pretty good piece as well, and then you bring in Jason Marquis. So it's one of those deals where I think that they've worked on things. They went out and got some middle relief, and I think that was what they really needed to do to keep themselves in the thick of things and to give the Giants a real scare.
Now, I want to ask about Ian Kennedy, because he's been flying under the radar the entire season, but you take a look at it, he's number one in wins. His ERA is a little bit higher than Roy Halladay's, and he doesn't have quite many innings. But how come Ian Kennedy has not been mentioned as potential winner of the Cy Young Award this season?
That's a great question. I mean, 13-3, like you said, a lot of wins. His ERA is about 3.17. And, this guy, all he does is he's consistent, I mean, it's sort of like, with both those guys, Saunders and Ian Kennedy. You know what you're going to get. It's not overpowering power. Ian Kennedy can throw somewhere in the low 90s, 93 or so, 94 maybe on his fastball at a very good clip, I mean, the bottom line is the guy, is a well-seasoned guy, played at USC and, played against some pretty good competition in college, and, he's continued to just be pretty steady throughout his career. And you know what, the Diamondbacks, it's not the same as having Kurt Schilling and Randy Johnson by any means, but Ian Kennedy and Joe Saunders have been fantastic for the Diamondbacks. And Saunders doesn't necessarily have the wins, but he's consistent. He gives up 2, maybe 3 runs a game and somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to Ian Kennedy, and then it's up to the guys to go out and get some hits. So I love Ian Kennedy. He's really done a great job, and he's been obviously the most consistent guy for the Arizona Diamondbacks as well.
Now, I want to ask about Justin Upton, because he's not even 24 years old yet. He's been around, feels like forever, part of those great baby-back teams a few years ago. He's having a really good year. Probably will get to 30 home runs, 30 stolen bases, 100 RBI, 100 runs. My question is this guy a lifetime Diamondback, or does it get to a point where he kind of blossoms and some of their teams get to whisk him away with a ton of money?
I'll tell you what, they love him here, and it's at the All-Star break, obviously lucky enough to host that game, and a really good moment there for Justin by this home crowd. And they seem to have really embraced him. And like you said, he's had some struggles. He's been a little inconsistent throughout his years. He's been to 2 All-Star games, though, with that being said, and this year he's really come into his own, hitting 300 or a little bit over, and like you said, he's got 20-plus homers, about 65 RBI, and, this guy's really come into his own. So I think he is a lifer. If they can make it possible, Justin Upton will be a Diamondback for a long, long time, and again, I think that he's been embraced by the fans, the organization. Everybody has really embraced him and given him the due that he is ultimately justified to have. So I really like what this kid's done. He's shown a lot of character, a lot of poise. He's really grown before our eyes, and like you said, only been in the league for 4 years. So Justin Upton is hopefully going to be a guy that will be with the Arizona Diamondbacks for a long time, because not only a good baseball guy, good guy off the field, a good character guy, and a good guy to have in your organization for sure.
All right, I want to go now to the NBA, because we don't know if there's going to be a season this year. It looks a little shaky, especially all these players going out to Europe and China and Turkey and all this kind of stuff. Are there any talks of any Phoenix Suns players potentially playing overseas?
Well, not at this point, and I wouldn't. Hey, the bottom line is, man, I thought that the NFL would get done. I really think that the NBA is in big trouble. When you look at the 2 arguments, I really feel like the NBA is all about money, and the NFL was about money, but it was also about quality of life, and it's not the same in the NBA, and I'm just a little disappointed, to be honest with you, with the way that these guys are all handling this, and it's their right to go and play somewhere else, and obviously the guys like Darren Williams have already made deals, and if there's no season, he's gone, and more power to him. I think ultimately what that does is it's going to hurt the game, and it's going to make guys question themselves whether they want to play in the NBA, if they want to play overseas or whatnot. But ultimately, I think it hurts the game, and I think that these guys are all going to have to do the right thing, which is, eventually they have to work something out. I don't know if it's next year, though, Ari. I really don't. I think the NBA may be in for the long haul with this lockout, and they have some issues. I think that the players, to me, are there's really the fight, to me, doesn't make a lot of sense. Again, it's more about money than anything else, and I think that the NBA is in some serious trouble with this lockout.
Well, professional basketball that is being played in Arizona, of course, Phoenix Mercury, 1 point first place. Now they're 11-7 third place. Are you worried about the Mercury, Dorf?
Are you kidding right now? I don't know their record. I don't care about their record. But it's funny you said that, because my girlfriend actually went to a Mercury game like a couple weeks ago, and they actually destroyed the team. I don't remember who they were playing, but so yeah, I'm not too worried about the Phoenix Mercury, and I'm worried about the Phoenix Suns, though, I'll tell you that. I don't think their future looks so bright. I think that the moves that they've made in the past 2 years are going to definitely haunt them for a long time, and most notably that Amari Stoudemire, letting him go to New York and not paying him guaranteed money. I think it's a huge mistake, and I think the franchise is definitely going to be in trouble for a long, long time, and I just don't know if they're ever going to recover, to be honest with you. So I think if you're a Phoenix Suns fan, that the future is very, very, in jeopardy, and you're very uncertain, I guess, is a really good way to put it, where you're not sure. I mean, Steve Nash, obviously at the end of his career, and Grant Hill, those guys are all kind of on their last legs, and it's a sad situation, because a couple of years ago, this team was battling for NBA championships, at least getting to the Eastern Conference Finals, and at least putting a little bit of pressure on teams. So I don't see that same type of atmosphere here in Phoenix, at least for the Phoenix Suns, for a while.
And the Amari contract, I remember we spoke about that last year. One of the main differences, the Knicks offered $100 million. The Suns only guaranteed, was it 55? Was that what it was?
It was like I think they offered that basically it was $56 million that they were going to give him up front, that they would guarantee him, and then it came down to minutes in the last 2 years where he'd have to play over 2,200 minutes or something along those lines, because they felt that they weren't sure if his knees were completely back. And again, that's a mistake. I mean, the bottom line is you could see in the season where he was back at full strength that this guy had a lot of juice left in him, and that his spring was back and he looked healthy again. So I'm not really buying that, and I think it was bottom line is there was bad blood, and there have been so many years of rumors of trading him that finally it just came the time that Amari said, look, I want out, and I'm going to go to a situation where I can take the guaranteed money. And you know what, more power to him. It's a no-brainer if you ask me. I think he made the right move. And if you look at it, there's other players there in New York as well. So, if there's an NBA season, the New York Knickerbockers are definitely an exciting ticket and a fun ticket to watch too. So, and it's no mistake that, D'Antoni's there and running the same type of style. They're not winning championships, but they're an exciting brand of basketball. So the New York Knicks have definitely livened things up, and the Carmelo Anthonys of the world and Amari Stoudemire all in the same place. I think it's an interesting situation there in New York for Amari.
And I'll tell you what, if there is a lockout, there are some rumors that Amari might come out here to Israel to play. Only time will tell. Dorf, thanks so much for being on Louis Live. You can catch your show on KFNX 1100 in the great city of Phoenix at Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Phoenix time?
That is correct, and then they can always check out the podcast. It's on a site called YourSportsFan.com. Just click on the Dorf on Sports link, and boom, it beams you up just like Scotty, and then it's like, holy cow, the Dorf man's talking sports knowledge to you. So, yeah, just YourSportsFan.com for the podcast, or else obviously online at 1100KFNX.com. My time is 9 p.m. I'm not exactly sure what time it is in the motherland. But
7 in the morning out here, Dorf, on
7
Thursday.
a.m. So people are just waking up. They can definitely check it out and get a good start to the day. I got a nice 1-800 number that they can call in on and speak their mind about the world of sports or anything else on their mind, man.
That's good stuff. Dorf, thanks so much, as always, for being on Louis Live. It was a great pleasure.
Hey, always a pleasure talking to you, Ari, and give me a buzz, and we'll get you on my program here soon, too.
That sounds great, man. I'm going to take you up on that.
All righty, brother.
All right, man. Be well. Have a good one.
Take care, dude. Have a great day.
All right, that was Andy Dorf from Dorf on Sports, KFNX 1100 out in the great city of Phoenix, Arizona, my hometown. But my current town is Jerusalem. But we're going to switch towns again. We're going to go to Philadelphia after this commercial break. Our Philadelphia insider, Ari Bluestein, right after this.
Broadcasting live from Israel.
IsraelSportsRadio.com.
Offering the best of Israel at the best price, Shalom Israel Tours can help you make your next trip to Israel the adventure of a lifetime. Shalom Israel Tours will customize a trip to Israel for your family or group. Specializing in bar mitzvah packages, outdoor adventure vacations, wine tours, and more, Shalom Israel Tours is sure to inspire. So whether you're looking for a customized trip, a day tour, or a car rental, Shalom Israel Tours is here to help. Email us at inspire@shalomisraeltours.com or click the banner on the Israel Sports Radio homepage, and soon you will find yourself in Israel. That's Shalom Israel Tours, www.shalomisraeltours.com.
Are you having computer issues? You just got to try these guys. Tiger Computer Services, 050-708-1599. All of Jerusalem is talking about them. They're super experienced, efficient, reliable, and honest. Their lead technician has over 20 years experience and holds a BS in computer science from a top American university. Mickey from Macavia says, I won't let anybody touch my computers except for Tiger. So call Tiger Computer Services, 050-708-1599. Believe me, you'll be happy that you did. Ruben from Baca says, I've had many technicians in the past, and these guys are some of the best I've seen. Laptops, desktops, netbooks, Macintoshes, iPods, iPhones. All hardware and software problems, advice, and instruction. The next time you need a very experienced and honest computer technician, call Tiger Computer Services at 050-708-1599. Mention Israel Sports Radio for a 15% discount for all new customers. Are you living in the Tel Aviv area and looking to achieve those fitness goals that seem out of reach? If so, personal trainer Leon Kessler is just one call away. Leon will teach, coach, advise, supervise, and support you so that you are able to accomplish your fitness goals. One call to 050-792-2434 will put your goals in reach. That's 050-792-2434, or click on the Leon Kessler banner on the Israel Sports Radio website and see what Leon can do for you.
Israel Sports Dynamics specializes in football consulting, equipment, uniforms, and more. Great brands such as Nike, Russell Athletics, Schutt Sports Products, and many more. Just one call away. With over 30 years coaching experience with university and professional athletes, Terry Hill, owner of ISD, can advise you for all your sports needs. Call 054-581-3248. That's 054-581-3248, or visit our website at www.isdisrael.com. If that's not easy enough, click on the ISD banner on the Israel Sports Radio website and be part of the game.
Are you ready to get serious about your health and fitness? iFit trainers provide one-on-one personal training and put together the best fitness program to get the right results for you. Find your I in Fit. We offer certified personal trainers with elite athletic experience and flexible hours at the convenience of your own home. Classes are offered in English and in Hebrew. We serve Jerusalem and the surrounding areas. For more information and to schedule your first workout session, call Alyssa at 054-759-7280 or email Alyssa, ELISSA, at i-fit.co.il. Visit us at www.i-fit.co.il or click on the iFit banner on the Israel Sports Radio homepage.
Feeling overwhelmed with all you have to do? Let your personal shopper help. Hani is an experienced gift shopper and can help free up your day. Hani can assist you in finding the perfect gift for your upcoming simchas or pick up those light items at the grocery. And don't forget, if you are in the area of the Israel Center on Karen HaYesod, stop by on Monday or Tuesday between 8:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. to check out all the great gifts Hani has to offer. For more information, call 02-654-2155 or email hani at netvision.net.il. Don't forget to check out her great website at www.hanisgifts.com.
Broadcasting live from Jerusalem, IsraelSportsRadio.com.
All right, back here on Louis Live, and our next guest is our Philadelphia insider, and he's got a lot to talk about as there have been some great moves made by the teams in Philadelphia. That is Ari Bluestein. Ari, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you today, Ari?
Doing great, and let's get right to it. The Philadelphia Eagles all over the place. Defensively, they are becoming a juggernaut. Now, first, before we get to the moves, let's talk Asante Samuel. He's not happy. He was kind of the star before, and now, again, the additions of Asamaga. How much will this affect Asante Samuel? He says it's 50-50 about him going back to the ball club.
Well, I think he just kind of wants to be the center of attention. It's a very interesting scenario right here with the Eagles organization. You have the newly acquired Nnamdi Asomugha, and you have Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, who was acquired in the trade from your Arizona Cardinals for Kevin Cobb. And then you have Asante Samuel, who's been a Pro Bowl corner every year that he's been with the Eagles so far the last 3 years. So I think that if Asante can be the starting left corner, and then Asomugha can be the starting right corner, and Cromartie can be like a nickel corner and kind of be on the field maybe just 60% of the time, help in blitz packages, I think it'll still work with the three of them. So we'll see what kind of trade offers the Eagles get. I know the Eagles think very highly of Asante Samuel, and they won't trade him just for the sake of trading him. They want good value, whether it's a first-round pick or a top linebacker or a top safety, what have you, but they would like to have all three cornerbacks, I think, as long as all three of them can be happy. And the only one that might not be happy is Asante.
Now, I am very impressed with what the Eagles have done, especially Asomugha, because he's somewhat been under the radar out in Oakland, but certainly a great quarterback. At this point, with all these moves the Eagles have made, are they the team to beat in the NFC?
That's a good question. That's something that people have been talking about in Philadelphia the last few days since the signing of Asomugha on Friday. You still have the Super Bowl champion Green Bay Packers. They're still the best team. They are the team to beat. Don't sleep on the New Orleans Saints, who won the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. I think they're a team that you certainly want to look out for. and the number one seed from last year, the Atlanta Falcons. They just signed Ray Edwards. They have a very good offense. Matt Ryan picked up Julio Jones in the draft, a great wide receiver out of Alabama. So I think Philly is one of the 4 teams that are being discussed as potentially the NFC representative in the Super Bowl. But I would say Philly's maybe considered tied for third right now with Atlanta behind Green Bay and New Orleans. That's the feeling that I have.
And a team that the Eagles might potentially play in the Super Bowl as they keep adding more and more pieces, the New England Patriots, they add Albert Hainsworth, add Chad Ochocinco. I've been asking this question all week, and I want to get your take on it. Is this Bill Belichick's greatest challenge, even more than Randy Moss and even more than Corey Dillon?
I think it could be. I think especially with a guy like Albert Hainsworth. Chad Ochocinco, he's got the attitude issues, but he was still performing. I know he had slipped in numbers, obviously, over the last couple of seasons, but he was still performing. Albert Hainsworth really dropped. He went from the top defensive tackle in the game to really a nobody in Washington. So I think Hainsworth is really a bigger challenge than Ochocinco. I put Ochocinco maybe on the same level as Corey Dillon, especially because they both came from Cincinnati, so you have a similar scenario there, just a little extra attitude. But Hainsworth, it'll be really interesting to see if he could turn his career around.
You know, it's funny because people make this point with Randy Moss that he was abyss in Oakland for 2 years, came out, had a record-breaking season. But I'm not sure if it's the same analogy because let me back up. Basically, these players seem, in my opinion, to have a clock where a few years they explode. Randy Moss was good for about 3 years and then ran out of gas. As my partner Andy Gershman likes to say, could be catching lightning in a bottle. Maybe they hope Albert can turn it around for a year or two, and then when he fizzles out, the Patriots will just get rid of him.
That's true, and the same could be said for Chad Ochocinco, the same way they got a little bit out of Randy Moss. Had the record-setting year, 23 receiving touchdowns, something along those lines.
Right, 23.
That record, the record probably will never be broken, or it'll take a while for it to be broken. But I think the Patriots need some help in the wide receiver department. Wes Welker, he's a great slot receiver, but he's not really a go-to number one. And then Deion Branch, he knows what he can, but he's not really a number one either. So I think Ochocinco can step in and be a top target for Tom Brady. So that should be interesting. And, like you said, Hainsworth, let's see if they can get some good play out of him for 2 years and make another Super Bowl run with Brady.
And some more NFL moves, sticking with the AFC. The Jets pick up Plaxico Burress. Now, the difference, I think, with Plaxico and Michael Vick, because we hear these analogies a lot. Michael Vick, first of all, 31, I believe, when he got out of prison. The quarterback position also is not just purely on speed. There are other things you could do in the pocket. A wide receiver is much more on speed. He has been out of the game for 2 years, but he's still got a load of talent. What do you think about the Jets picking up Plaxico?
It's an interesting pickup. They needed to sign Santonio Holmes, and they did that. And then they went for their number 2 receiver with Plaxico Burress over Braylon Edwards. So they save a little bit of money. Obviously, Plaxico is older than Braylon Edwards. But in terms of talent, I think Plaxico and Braylon are pretty even at this point. And at the primes of their career, obviously Plax would get the edge over Braylon Edwards. So I think that it was a money issue, especially because the Jets wanted to make sure that they had Revis under contract last year, and then, of course, they re-signed Cromartie to solidify their secondary. So I think that had something to do with it as well. But we'll see what Plax can do. Obviously, Santonio Holmes is the number 1 there, and the Jets do like to run the football. So I think Plaxico doesn't have to be relied on to be the main target, and that'll be a nice transition for him. I think he could have a decent year. Not a crazy good year, but I think he could have a decent year and really contribute to a Jets' potential Super Bowl run.
Now, I want to, we're kind of bouncing around the place, but I want to go back to your Philadelphia Eagles because my understanding, Deshaun Jackson, has he still not reported to camp at this point?
He still has not reported to camp, no. He is holding out for a contract. For those of you who don't know, he'd be making this year a little bit over $500,000, and for a wide receiver of his caliber, that really is not a lot, and that has to do with his rookie contract because he was a second-round pick, an early second-round pick, not a first-round pick. And it's funny because Jeremy Maclin, who just reported to camp, he's making a lot more than Deshaun Jackson, and Jackson's been in the league a couple more years than him. So I think, from what I'm hearing, the holdout should be over either Thursday or Friday, And the Eagles have said that they are willing to talk contract, but they want him to report to camp first. So Jackson should be in Eagles camp by the end of the week, Thursday or Friday, and they'll probably discuss a new contract next week or the week after.
As we recall back to the days of Terrell Owens, the general policy of the Eagles is not to change contracts, but with Deshaun Jackson, I imagine they're going to bump up that salary. What do you think they'll bump that salary up to?
It's a good question. I think a lot of people are talking about somewhere in the $5 to $8 million range. It could be it could be something like a 4 or 5 year deal, worth like about $50 million, and a certain amount of that is guaranteed. I think you're looking at I think he's worth basically like maybe $7-8 million, maybe a little bit more than that. It depends. I definitely agree with you about the T.O. situation. T.O. is already making millions. Deshaun is definitely underpaid. Nobody can argue with that. So I think that the Eagles will certainly work with him and give him his money.
I made this point earlier in the week. That touchdown run alone against the Giants is worth more than $600,000 because that got the Eagles a home playoff game and all the revenue from that alone. So just based on that, could pay him a lot more money. One last NFL question. This player, well, as right now is not in the NFL. We'll have to see if that's going to last. But Randy Moss calls it quit after 13 years. I asked the Dwarf man. He thinks there's a good possibility he's coming back. His agent's already made some noise to that. What are the chances he comes back this season? And if he does, what are the chances he goes to the Eagles? I mean, Brett Favre apparently wants to go there. It's kind of everyone's going to Philadelphia at that point. You think Randy Moss could look nice in the Eagles uniform?
I don't know. I don't think Randy Moss would go to the Eagles. I think the only chance that he goes to the Eagles is if Deshaun Jackson or Jeremy Maclin go down to injury. I don't think that's going to happen, though, especially because the Eagles have spent so much money already this offseason on defense, and they probably will spend a little bit more on perhaps a backup running back for LaShawn McCoy or a linebacker or a veteran safety. So I don't see him coming to Philly. I do see him coming back to the NFL, though. You think about this strategic move that he made. He has been getting so much attention since he announced his retirement. Everybody forgot about Randy Moss. Everybody was talking about Ocho Cinco and all the Eagles moves that they were making, and even Brett Favre got headlines over him. But he said, I'm retiring, I'm done. And now everybody's talking about it. Oh, wait a minute. This is one of the best wide receivers in NFL history, and now I think got some teams' attention. And we'll see when he gets signed. It might not be till the end of preseason. It might take a team to have an injury for him to get signed. But I think it won't be in Philly, but I do agree. I think he'll be back.
Yeah, I think so, too. I think he wants the spotlight too much, and this could be a move just for him to get out of training camp. But, yeah, I think Randy Moss is coming back. And you look at his numbers, it's just incredible. You forget just how great he was in comparison to other great wide receivers. Pretty much Jerry Rice has it over him, but he has it over everyone. So very impressive career at this point. Let's switch gears to Major League Baseball. The Philadelphia Phillies right there where they belong in first place. They don't get Carlos Beltran like you hoped, but talk about some of the moves that they made around the trade deadline.
Well, instead of Carlos Beltran, the Phillies got Hunter Pence, and that was actually the number one target for Phillies general manager Ruben Amaro, and basically his reasoning was Carlos Beltran is not under control in 2012. He will be a free agent. Hunter Pence is under contract not only for this year but for next year as well, and he is under control for the third year. He goes to arbitration. He can get a little bit more money. Probably his salary will go up to about $9 or $10 million, similar to what Raul Ibanez is making right now for the Phillies. But the Phillies got Hunter Pence, and everybody in Philly is shocked that we did not have to trade Vance Worley, the up-and-coming pitching prospect who's done really well this year, or the top prospect Dominic Brown, who's been up and down, the outfielder. And we really only gave up single-A and double-A guys. So I think that was a great move for Philly. And since Hunter Pence has come to Philly, the Phillies are 3-0, including the great win last night over the Colorado Rockies in extra innings. And he's already started to contribute, got some key hits. And I think if Roy Oswalt can come back healthy and really start pitching and Hunter Pence can contribute, I think there's really no stopping the Phillies to get to the World Series. Once they get there, that'll be an issue against the Red Sox, Yankees, or Rangers, all three of them, very good teams. But I think really if the Phillies play up to their potential, they will roll right through the National League.
And a big reason, of course, Roy Halladay, if you look at his stats, kind of more impressive as it goes on. And I mean, I'm just completely shocked when I take a look at this. And he's only walked 19 batters, and he's pitched 162 innings. How would this guy? I know you're a big Cole Hamels fan, and he's been somewhat more consistent. But 19 walks in 162 innings. I don't even know where to start. To talk about your man Roy Halladay of the Phillies.
Well, the nickname around Major League Baseball that Halladay is starting to get is the cyborg, because he is just like a robot out there on the mound. His mechanics are picture perfect. He hits whatever spot he wants to hit for the most part. Basically 90% of the time he'll hit his spot, and that is the reason why he only has 19 walks. His mechanics are great. He can throw all of his pitches for strikes, whether it's a fastball, a cutter, curveball, the split-finger changeup that he has. No matter what, he can throw it for strikes, or he can throw it in the dirt and force guys to swing, or he can throw it up the hands and get guys to swing. He's just unbelievable to watch him work on the mound. You're right, Hamels has been consistent. He's been shaky a little bit lately. He pitched well last night, though, in the win. But, yeah, you're right. Halladay is just an amazing pitcher to watch.
You know, I'm rooting for Ian Kennedy to do well, but even as a Diamondbacks fan, I have to concede it. The season ended today, Halladay's got the Cy Young. I'm just looking at these stats here. Not only 19 walks, he's only given up 9 home runs, 6 complete games, and an ERA of 2.44. Just absolutely stellar from Roy Halladay. I want to get your opinion about the Braves' moves and what they did. They had brought in the Major League leader in steals, so now obviously Philadelphia, unless something really strange happens, will win the division. But are you scared, as a fan of the Phillies, playing the Braves potentially in the NLCS?
I think it'll be a great series because of the Braves pitching. I know Michael Bourne, their pickup, who leads the league in steals, he's actually a former Phillies farm product. He was in that Brad Lidge trade to Houston a few years ago that led to the Phillies World Series win in 2008. So it's funny that he's now coming back to the division, and we're going to see him more often now. And it's a good pickup for the Braves, but really what drives them is their pitching. Tommy Hanson, Tim Hudson, Jair Jurgens, these guys are all great. Derek Lowe, the veteran, Brandon Beachy, a good young pitcher, and of course their bullpen with closer Craig Kimbrell and Johnny Venters, the setup man. So I think it'll be a very good series. I still think the Phillies will win in a series, but the Braves and the Giants, both their pitching has really caused Phillies batter some problems this year. And real quick, a shout-out to your Arizona Diamondbacks for only one game out. I honestly hope they take over first place and win that division over the Giants.
Yeah, you'd rather play the Diamondbacks than the Giants, right? I mean, let's be honest. Right, as a Phillies fan, I imagine you'd rather take on the Diamondbacks than the defending World Series champions. Is that fair to say? Ari? Okay, looks like we lost Ari. I think I had offended about something. Let's take a commercial break, and when we come back, we'll try to get Ari back on the line. I want my Diamondbacks to take on the Phillies in the playoffs. We'll see how that happens. We'll be back after this.
Are you having computer issues? You just got to try these guys. Tiger Computer Services, 050-708-1599. All of Jerusalem is talking about them. They're super experienced, efficient, reliable, and honest. Their lead technician has over 20 years experience and holds a BS in computer science from a top American university. Mickey from Macavia says, I won't let anybody touch my computers except for Tiger. So call Tiger Computer Services, 050-708-1599. Believe me, you'll be happy that you did. Ruben from Baca says, I've had many technicians in the past, and these guys are some of the best I've seen. Laptops, desktops, netbooks, Macintoshes, iPods, iPhones. All hardware and software problems, advice, and instruction. The next time you need a very experienced and honest computer technician, call Tiger Computer Services at 050-708-1599. Mention Israel Sports Radio for a 15% discount for all new customers. Are you living in the Tel Aviv area and looking to achieve those fitness goals that seem out of reach? If so, personal trainer Leon Kessler is just one call away. Leon will teach, coach, advise, supervise, and support you so that you are able to accomplish your fitness goals. One call is 050-792-2434 and will put your goals in reach. That's 050-792-2434, or click on the Leon Kessler banner on the Israel Sports Radio website and see what Leon can do for you.
Idreshet Devora, a Dati Lumi post-high school program which educates minds and broadens horizons. Located in Baca, the lovely Jerusalem neighborhood provides an excellent background and setting for a tremendous education. Our students learn, love, and feel the land of Israel and get tools which will last them a lifetime. Generous scholarships are available. Please contact us at idreshetdevora.org. Call us from Israel at 052-534-6260 or from North America at 718-593-4162. Idreshet Devora, we're the program you've been waiting for.
DJ Venom, DJ Venom, DJ Venom, DJing parties throughout Israel, birthday parties, weddings, club events, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, and much more. You pick the type of music and DJ Venom will turn your event into the party of the year. Available Sunday through Thursday. Call 052-952-6506 or email djvenom1984@yahoo.com. That's 052-952-6506 or email djvenom1984@yahoo.com. Book your party today. That's DJ Venom.
All right, we have Ari back on. Ari, I don't mean to offend you with the comment about the Giants. I hope you weren't upset about that.
No, we got disconnected there. Sorry about that.
No problem. It happens on live radio all the time. It's why it's so much fun. But let's get back to your comment. You hope the Diamondbacks, as I do as well, overtake the Giants. That's because you'd rather play the Diamondbacks than the defending World Series champions, I take it?
That's true, but I don't really like the Giants too much. So I like watching the Diamondbacks play, a good young team. So I always like to see some fresh teams in the playoffs. But yes, I wouldn't like to play the Giants. I'd rather play the D-backs. I think it'd be an entertaining series.
Yeah, being Kennedy pitching, Justin Upton hitting, and managing Kirk Gibson doesn't get much better as a manager. All the fieriness and the emotion, and of course the play that clip probably about 100 times of the 88 home run in the World Series.
Yeah, absolutely. He was a great player. That was a great moment in Major League Baseball history. And I wish the Diamondbacks a lot of luck. It should be a very entertaining race in the NL West to give the Giants some competition.
All right, I want to switch now to the NBA, and I know a few weeks ago you said the lockout was going to be 50-50 of it, either way, of it ending where we don't have a season, 50-50. And now you see Kobe Bryant might go to China, he might go to Turkey, Deron Williams already signed with a club in Turkey. Some of these players are filtering out. Chris Paul and Carmelo Anthony are talking about going to China as well. Are you still at 50-50, or the percentage has changed a little bit now?
I'm going to still say 50-50. I think there's still a chance for the NBA to have a shortened season, similar to the last lockout back in the early 90s when the Spurs won the shortened season. But I think that the chances of having a regular season are like 10%, a full regular season. So I think you're looking at 50-50 for the shortened season, even though all these players are looking to go overseas. But we'll see. It's going to be ugly, and if they get a season, it'll be at the last hour that they actually get this thing together.
You know, I got to tell you, you never know with David Stern, but apparently he came out of a press conference. They asked him, what are your feelings? And he said, not optimistic at all. And they asked him, why are you at this meeting? He's like, well, kind of nothing else to do. But this could be an advantage long term. It depends. It's a dangerous road. It depends what happens in the years to come. But he's always wanted to expand the game globally. He talked about putting some teams in London and in Europe and those areas. Hey, let's throw this out there. I'm a conspiracy guy. Is David Stern doing this on purpose to cause these players to go out to Europe and China?
Yeah, I think that, these guys, they want to play some basketball, and they want to make some money, and they're locked out right now. They can't make any money, and David Stern talked about all these guys that are going overseas, et cetera. But I think it's good. These players are, not worrying about the lockout. It's going to be a very tough labor agreement to solve, and I encourage these guys to go overseas, play a little basketball over there, and like you said, encourage them to get out there to Europe and really expand the game globally, and maybe that'll help bring the NBA a little bit to what it used to be and get these global markets involved.
Yeah, and the only thing is, I think why it's a dangerous road to travel, the ratings for the 2011 finals were the highest since 1998, Jordan's last appearance in the finals, and of course they had the lockout right afterwards and killed all that momentum. So it's definitely a dangerous route. But one last question here before we let you go. Allen Iverson was one of the first guys to go out to Europe and in Turkey. He played in Turkey, and that didn't work out. At this point, what is the status of Allen Iverson? We heard rumors that he's gambled all his money away. What is the status of AI?
Yeah, Allen Iverson had a very expensive entourage. He gave a lot of money to basically his friends from growing up, and they each had their respective jobs and paid all them and paid their expenses and all this stuff. And I really don't think he has a lot of money left, and that's kind of why he's trying to make a comeback in the NBA. I know the Sixers don't have interest in him. I know he's trying to stay in shape, so maybe a team can sign him. But honestly, I don't really see him coming back. He's lost the step. Really, what made him so good was that he was so quick and so tough. But now that his body is older, he's slowed down, and he can't take as much physical contact. So I don't really see him making a comeback to the NBA, unfortunately.
It's a shame because the 2001 season was one of the more impressive things we've ever seen in sports. That team Larry Brown took to the NBA Finals, and to compete with the Lakers was just amazing. And I still remember, I'm sure as you do as well, in Game 1, that movie put on Tyronn Lue, where Tyronn Lue fell over because of an AI crossover.
Yeah, that was a great moment, and really was a great time in Philadelphia because nobody really cared about the Sixers until that season. Everybody was all about the Eagles, and the Phillies weren't good yet. The Flyers were so-so, and it was a great moment for Philly sports. And I think we really thought we had a shot to beat the Lakers after that Game 1 win, but of course the Lakers won the next 4, including 3 on the court in Philadelphia at the Wachovia Center. But it was a great time, and that really was a great win and a great season for the Sixers and for Larry Brown and for AI.
Yeah, Allen had 48 points in the overtime win and was an excellent performance. And we kind of thought that they would be back because the team was had so much energy and excitement about it. And Larry Brown, such a great coach, but he got his title a few years later with the Denver Ball Club. But in any case, Ari Bluestein, a pleasure as always. Thank you so much for being on Louis Live.
Thank you very much. Great to be on.
Absolutely. We'll have you again real soon. Take care. All right, that was Ari Bluestein, our Philadelphia insider. I'm trying to get up that play against Tyronn Lue because it was just an amazing play. They're going to play rock music over it. Okay. I will find this play. I don't care what I've got to do. I'm going to find it. Okay, it's coming up pretty soon. Nope, don't want to hear it in Spanish. Sorry. Try again. Well, I'll be here all night. I got nowhere else to go, man. Here we go.
For the 76ers, Iverson, bothered by Lue. Iverson, yes. How about that? And steps over Tyronn Lue.
That was awesome.
Straight points by Iverson. Looked like he was dead in the water. The courage of this young guy. He'd been totally shut down. Gets out of the break, hits a 3 to give his team a 2.
This was back in the day where the NBA was broadcasted correctly. I don't know who the guys who do it now so much. They're no Marv Albert or Doug Collins.
Jumper buries it, and watch him step right over the top of Tyronn Lue. Let him know that's 7 straight points. And Eric Snow, a running 1-footer as the clock.
That was awesome.
Down.
I just love watching it. It identified with Allen Iverson not because of the tattoos or the he grew up with or the gangland style type of mentality he has. Maybe a little bit of the gangland mentality and that style. But he's a little guy. Always the shortest guy on the court. And that's the guy I always relate to. And we do put Tyronn Lue on Allen Iverson. Later on they put Kobe Bryant, but Allen owned Kobe sometimes as well. Couldn't always get it. Let's see if this one works. Nope, there's no sound here. Okay, that's awesome. The other crossover I want to get before we take a commercial break, and yes, I will find it. I will persevere. Allen Iverson's crossover over Mr. Michael Jordan. And this thing has millions of views. It's a shame. It's kind of like we're talking about Allen Iverson like he's dead, but kind of is to some degree. Nope, there's music there. That's not what I want. That is not what I want. I want Allen Iverson crossing over Michael Jordan. Yes, indeedy.
To celebrate Allen Iverson's 10 years in the NBA and the November 4th release of the Answer 9, Reebok presents Iverson's NBA moment number 2.
How's that
March
number 2?
March 12, 1997. a rookie named Allen Iverson makes his presence known at the expense of a legend.
Allen shakes free, gets two! Mike said no! Allen said yes!
The Answer 9 pump by Reebok, a decade later and stronger than ever.
Yeah, I'm not interested in the Reebok commercial part, but that was really cool. Allen Iverson shaking Michael Jordan in 1997. MJ went on to win, and they made a title that year. But that was the year he didn't win the MVP. So, there you go. All right, let's take a commercial break. When we come back, I want to discuss the Kelly Pavlik fight, which I started at the top of the show, and then got interrupted by some phone calls and guests. But I'll be happy to discuss it right after this.
Offering the best of Israel at the best price, Shalom Israel Tours can help you make your next trip to Israel the adventure of a lifetime. Shalom Israel Tours will customize the trip to Israel for your family or group. Specializing in bar mitzvah packages, outdoor adventure vacations, wine tours, and more, Shalom Israel Tours is sure to inspire. So whether you're looking for a customized trip, a day tour, or a car rental, Shalom Israel Tours is here to help. Email us at inspire@shalomisraeltours.com or click the banner on the Israel Sports Radio homepage, and soon you will find yourself in Israel. That's Shalom Israel Tours, www.shalomisraeltours.com.
Are you ready to get serious about your health and fitness? iFit trainers provide one-on-one personal training and put together the best fitness program to get the right results for you. Find your I in Fit. We offer certified personal trainers with elite athletic experience and flexible hours at the convenience of your own home. Classes are offered in English and in Hebrew. We serve Jerusalem and the surrounding areas. For more information and to schedule your first workout session, call Alyssa at 054-759-7280 or email Alyssa, ELISSA, at i-fit.co.il. Visit us at www.i-fit.co.il or click on the iFit banner on the Israel Sports Radio homepage.
Feeling overwhelmed with all you have to do? Let your personal shopper help. Connie is an experienced gift shopper and can help free up your day. Connie can assist you in finding the perfect gift for your upcoming simchas or pick up those light items at the grocery. And don't forget, if you are in the area of the Israel Center on Karen HaYesod, stop by on Monday or Tuesday between 8:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. to check out all the great gifts Connie has to offer. For more information, call 02-654-2155 or email Connie at netvision.net.il. Don't forget to check out her great website at www.conniesgifts.com.
Israel Sports Dynamics specializes in football consulting, equipment, uniforms, and more. Great brands such as Nike, Russell Athletics, Shutt Sports Products, and many more. Just one call away. With over 30 years coaching experience with university and professional athletes, Terry Hill, owner of ISD, can advise you for all your sports needs. Call 054-581-3248. That's 054-581-3248 or visit our website at www.isdisrael.com. If that's not easy enough, click on the ISD banner on the Israel Sports Radio website and be part of the game.
Okay, we're back here on Lewis Live. Final segment. Did a little research about this Kelly Pavlik fight, so here is what has been going on. Pavlik was originally going to fight Darrell Cunningham. Now, that was supposed to be a tune-up fight before he would fight Butte. Problem was, again, Kelly Pavlik, former champion, 160, was only offered $50,000 guaranteed. If he would win, of course, then gets $1.35 million approximately to fight Butte. But apparently, Kelly Pavlik found out that a gentleman by the name of Kessler, trying to get the first name here, Kessler. Okay, we'll find that out later. Kessler was apparently offered $3.5 million to fight Butte. Remember, this is after this tune-up fight with Cunningham, so everyone's assuming the Cunningham's going to win. So he was apparently, Mikhail Kessler was offered $3.5 million to fight Butte. So Pavlik thought, well, why am I going to fight either guy? If I fight this tune-up fight against Cunningham, and then I win, and I then face the champion in Butte, I'm only getting $1.3 million when Butte is getting $3.5 million. So he decided not to do that. Bob Aaron, hilarious as always. Here is his quote. I am very disappointed, Aram said. Todd, that's the agent, negotiated this deal at least a couple weeks ago, so it's not like Kelly didn't know far in advance what he was getting in the entire deal. Now all of a sudden he's calling it chump change. I really think that there are some sort of mental issues there. And it very well could be. Like I mentioned to you, Kelly Pavlik has not been the same since he lost to Bernard Hopkins. Hopkins won at least 10 of those rounds. So Pavlik, of course, his last fight, a majority decision victory over Alfonso Lopez on May 10th. His first fight after he lost the middleweight titles to Sergio Martinez of April of last year. And again, like I mentioned to you, Pavlik's not been the same. We're going to bring up his stats here, and we thank our friends at Wikipedia for doing so. Here is what it is. Again, he is 29 years old, born April 5th, 1982, from Youngstown, Ohio. His nickname is the Ghost. So, pretty interesting there. Some of the amateur highlights, the 1998 National Junior Golden Gloves Amateur Champion at 147. A National Junior PL Amateur Champion as well. In 1999, he won the Under 19 Amateur Champion. Now, again, the fight where everything turned upside for him. On October 8th, 2008, 43-year-old Bernard Hopkins, remember Pavlik was 26 at the time, he won a unanimous decision over Pavlik. And they fought at light heavyweight. Again, it was not for the title. It was enough for the title. Now, then Pavlik went on to fight Marco Rubio. He defeated him. He was the WBC number one contender. That fight was in Youngstown. And he got a 9th round technical knockout. And Rubio's corner could see the fight. Then he fought Miguel Espinoza. And he won with a 5th round TKO. And then came Sergio Martinez. Following his win over Espinoza again, Pavlik was going to fight Paul Williams, but Paul Williams, of course, had that staph infection and almost killed him, so Pavlik was forced to... Pavlik had a staph infection which almost killed him, so he had to drop out of the fight and instead fought Sergio Martinez. April 17, 2010, he lost by unanimous decision, and that's where he gave up the WBC, WBO, and Reign Magazine middleweight title fights. Then, after that fight, he went up to super middleweight, fought Brian Vieira. It was part of the co-main event to Manny Pacquiao versus Tito Margariello. But Pavlik had a rib injury, he had to pull out of the fight. And then he had to go to the Betty Ford Center for Alcohol Rehabilitation. Pavlik then fought Alfonso Lopez III, the main card of Manny Pacquiao versus Sugar Shane Mosley, went on to win via majority decision. And then he's supposed to fight Lucien Butte. So, but he pulled out of that fight against Cunningham, which is the tune-up. So it's not going too good right now for Kelly Pavlik at this point. And what can you say? What can you say? Okay. Let's take a real quick commercial break, and we'll wrap things up here on Louis Live.
DJ Venom, DJ Venom, DJ Venom, DJing parties throughout Israel, birthday parties, weddings, club events, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, and much more. You pick the type of music, and DJ Venom will turn your event into the party of the year. Available Sunday through Thursday. Call 052-952-6506 or email djvenom1984@yahoo.com. That's 052-952-6506 or email djvenom1984@yahoo.com. Book your party today. That's DJ Venom.
Okay, we're back here on Louis Live here. We're going to wrap things up. That's our show for tonight. We've got some great things in store for you in the next couple of weeks. Mitchell Bard, we confirmed that interview. That'll be coming up. He's the man that wrote Myths and Facts About Israel. That's a great book, and we believe in branching out here on Louis Live. So very happy to have Mitchell on, even though he's not a sportsman. Well, he could be. Maybe he played basketball in college or some baseball in high school. I mean, you just never know. We're having some people that have been on Oprah Winfrey before as well. We'll tell you more about that in the next coming days. Jasmine Marcus will be making her first appearance on Louis Live, first appearance since she's been since we switch over to Louis Live and at the Andy and Ari show. And again, some more things down the road. Shai Doron will be on this Thursday at 10:30 p.m. Very, very excited about Shai. The great Jim Williams on at 11 p.m. And before we go, really would be remiss if we didn't talk. Can't believe we got to mention this here, but Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods apparently got some advice from Michael Jordan. And so you're going to play this video here. Michael's the one that told him to kind of keep his head up. But to this point, Michael just said stay healthy. That's all he said. Kind of kept it short. You know, Michael's had some injuries in his career, missed almost a whole season early in his career, and he just told Woods to stay healthy. That was his big advice. You know, and only a few people in the world know what Tiger Woods has gone through. You know, Michael had that gambling scandal early in his career, and he's had an issue where his wife filed for divorce in his final season. So you never know. But the video's not going to play, so that's not going to work. But that's what he apparently told him. Like I said, I think Tiger's done at this point. I know he's got the heart of a lion and the will of a warrior and all these things, but golf is such a mental game, such a mental part of the game. And I think a big part of him is done, you know, in that regard. So, and that's not good for golf. Yeah, everyone out there knows who Tiger is. I'll tell you, let's play this video. I've been waiting to play this video. We forgot to play this for Ari, but good stuff here. This is about the Eagles and Asante Samuel complaining he's not getting playing time. So we'll play that in about 20 seconds, and I'll take the 20 seconds to say that I hope Tiger Woods rebounds. And if he does, I mean, not exactly Ali-like coming back or Jordan-like coming back, but pretty close. Pretty close indeed. When you look, the scandal almost rocked him, and he's hanging in there. And, you know, again, it's a sports talk show, so we want Tiger Woods in the game. So here we go. Discussion of the Eagles, if they're the favorites.
Jackson, chilling in California, right? Still out here in Cali. Some reports as he's holding out from Eagles training camp. A lot of people thought he was ending his holdout Monday. There was reports to that in Philadelphia, but still not in camp. Michael Irvin not here to comment on this subject. We only have a few minutes left in the show. Asante Samuel, however, he showed on Monday, despite Nnamdi being signed on Friday. And maybe you got Nnamdi, DRC, and Asante Samuel. Yeah. Well, listen to what Asante has to say about all this.
I want to be where I'm on it. If I'm on it here, if I'm not appreciated here, then life goes on. I move on. If they're tired of my big playmaking ability, you know, maybe they'll ship me off. So maybe they want to keep me. I don't know. Who knows? You know, I'm gonna be myself, and that's how I stay going, and I keep it, and I keep doing what I do.
If they're tired of my big playability.
No one gets tired of that.
I know.
I have an answer.
Well,
he's
being
sarcastic.
No, but clearly he's hurt. There's no doubt. When somebody says that, I mean, you could read between the lines. Clearly he's hurt. He's shocked. The question is, though, even let's remove him, because I think a lot of people think that he's going to be traded. Even if he's not there, does this make all the moves the Eagles the team to beat in the NFC?
Oh, absolutely. I think they have pulled away big time from other teams within inside of their division. There's no doubt. And you take a look at what they added on defense. Yeah, they added the defensive linemen with Cullen Jenkins and Jason Badman, but I like what they brought to the secondary with Nnamdi Asomugha and Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. If you're Juan Castile, the defensive coordinator, you can dial up blitzes, lock down people in man-to-man coverage, and you can get home. Remember, Juan Castile had been their offensive line coach. He knows protections. He can draw up schemes to exploit those protections, and then he has the talent to do it. Scheme plus talent to run it equals a lot of big plays on defense. And if I'm Asante Samuels, I would want in on this football team.
Yeah, but you said you want in, but if they bring in another big-time guy, that's kind of like the writing on the wall. Either you're going to restructure to stay, or, like he said, if he's not wanted, he's going to be wanted somewhere else. Now, yeah, Juan is like Christmas time. He's got all these new toys to play with, right? So he's got to figure out what he got to do. But if you look at the Eagles and past playoffs, it's been the offense. They need to score points. They need to get on the board. They need playmakers to make plays, get in that end zone, and put up points. I don't care how good a defense is. If you can't put points on the board, it's going to be a problem.
That's genius right there. If you can't put points on the board, it's going to be a problem. Genius stuff. All right, that's our show. I want to thank our Philadelphia insider, Ari Louis, for coming on, talking about Deshaun Jackson. Hold on, it's going to end real soon. We had Andy Dorf from Dorf on Sports breaking out why the Diamondbacks are doing so well. Ian Kennedy, how is that man not a Cy Young candidate, flying right under the radar? Yonah Michon, it was his birthday yesterday. He was too drunk to remember to pick up the phone, but he picked up the phone today, and we're very proud of him. And we want to thank Josh for calling in as well. Great show tomorrow and Thursday. Stay tuned as always. It's all right. God bless and good night.